All right, as the week comes to the close, that means it's time for weekend bets alongside Brad Thomas from NBC Sports EDGE. I'm Steve Letarte. Brad, your soccer bets have been hitting time and time again, although I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit. That Panthers money line did cover last week. So looking ahead to this week, second week of NFL preseason, we have NASCAR only 2 weeks away from the playoffs. We got everything. We got the BMW Championship. You name it, there's sports on TV. So with all of those options, are we going back to the well with soccer?
I'm going back to the well. First, I want to thank you for the free money that you've just been spoon feeding me. I'm going on the pitch, and it's going to be Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Yes, back to Arsenal once again. This time, instead of -1, I'm taking -1.5. If you want to play it safe, you can take -1. But no, I'm not going to be a sucker for the juice. I'm taking the plus money. It's laying about +115 right now. So a lot of people are going to tell you, Bournemouth are at home. They won their opening Premier League game at home. Why would you back Arsenal? If you look at Bournemouth, they haven't had an XG over 1 goal in these last 2 games. Against Manchester City, they had an XG of 0.4. Now we have an Arsenal team who is just absolutely loaded with talent, as I said last week, and they just continue to improve. But what I really love about Arsenal is not this great offense that they boast. It's their defense. Against Crystal Palace, they had an expected goal allowed mark of less than 1.5, and that's a good Crystal Palace team. And against their last opponent, Leicester City, despite Leicester scoring 2 goals, they held them to an XG of just 0.46. But let's touch on that offense just one more time. Gabriel Jesus is the absolute man for this team. Last week, he had an expected goal mark higher than 17 different clubs in the Premier League. So if you're giving me plus money for an Arsenal team that should absolutely score at least 2 or 3 goals against a Bournemouth side who should be relegated, I'm taking it every single day, Steve.
Well, I will tell you, I never claimed to be a soccer expert, but taking your advice, I feel like a soccer expert in my gambling realm. I talk to all my buddies, and they're listening and leaning in. So I'm kind of stealing some of your stuff and trying to sell it to these guys. And they've been following it, and they've been loving the wins as well. For me, I think the best bets this weekend, I'm going what I'm most comfortable with, right? And that's my world of NASCAR. They head to the road course at Watkins Glen, the pressure of the playoffs, only 2 races away. The road course is the key. We only see 6 road course races all year. This is the 5th. And I really think the books have missed on 2 drivers, Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell. They both drive Fords, and while they both haven't found victory lane this year, their road course numbers are impressive. Chris Buescher, the last 3 road courses inside the top 10, one of which his car was on fire at Indianapolis, and he still recovered for a top 10. He is at -110 for a top 10. I think that's a solid bet. But the absolute miss by the books, in my opinion, is you can find Michael McDowell plus money. I've seen +130 up to +160 for a top 10. This man has been in the top 8 the last 3 times. So why would the streak not continue? I love both of those Fords. I would say if you want to put a little bit, maybe like a quarter unit or a half unit on a long shot, I would also take both of them as the best Ford. You can find that some in your prop bets, and I'm seeing +10, like 10 to 1s, 12 to 1s. So best Ford would be good. Maybe not a full unit, but put a little sprinkle in there in case they have a great run. You're going to hit both bets. And then I know it's going to be hard to believe. I'm going back to the NFL again. A week ago, Brad, the overs were 14-3. The average overage around 33 points. The books learned. Now they're about 39 points. All I'm going to do is tease it back down. Let's just take the risk. And I love the Panthers-Patriots again. I'm going to tease the Panthers. They're like +3, +4. They're moving around. I'm going to tease them up to about +10. I'm going to tease the total down to about 32 or 33, bundle them together, and enjoy the game.
Hey, that sounds fun. First, thank you so much for turning me into a NASCAR fan. I've just been on my phone constantly looking at highlights and really cool things that happen at the track. So thank you. And I'm going back to the pitch, Steve. I'm comfortable on the pitch, and I want to keep this hot streak going. I'm going Stuttgart versus Freiburg. Listen, Freiburg travels to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And this is a Freiburg team that travels very well, mind you. They played Dortmund last week, and for all intents and purposes, they should have won that game. They were up 1-0 for so long, absolutely dominating Dortmund. Dortmund looked like they had no clue. A fluke goal goes in, and then Dortmund ends up beating them 3-1. Well, now they're playing against a leaky Stuttgart side, and I'm backing Freiburg's team total over 1.5. It's sitting about +120. If you want to get cheeky, you can back the money line. Some books have it as high as +170. I'm just going to play it safe just in case this match ends 2-2. why I like Freiburg. They are the better side. They travel well. To start the season, and yes, I'm going to include friendlies, they have 4 games. In 4 games, they've scored at least 2 goals. The lone game they didn't score 2 goals was against that Dortmund side, where they scored one early and they packed it in because they knew how important getting 1 point off a potential league leader would be. As long as Freiburg stay aggressive, they should have no problem hitting this, because when they play against a Stuttgart side, they're not going to pack it in because they're not as threatened by their offensive attack. So I'm taking their team total over 1.5, Steve. I'm so excited to be able to cash some bets this weekend.
It's going to be a fun weekend of action. Don't forget the BMW Championship, the second round of the FedEx Cup playoffs, all weekend on NBC. I know Brad has opinions. I have opinions. Hit Brad up at Mr. Brad Thomas on Twitter. I'm at Steve Letarte. Give us your golf thoughts. We'll give you ours. Matchups on Saturday and Sunday. There'll be a lot of action, and good luck on your weekend bets.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.